How you guys doing today? I want to get into a little bit about prepping because I think it's a serious issue, topic right now because, who knows what's going to happen here in the near future. But, I got home from dialysis today and my mother had told me that she had saw on television they were talking about a Flat Earth movie coming out. I was like, are you sure? She hears me talk about the Flat Earth. I was like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, no, yeah. She's like, I know. She's like, I hear you talk about this flat earth all the time. She's like, and I know, yeah, they said that they were talking about a flat earth movie coming out. But, I really wanted to talk a little bit about prepping, man, because I think that, you know, I remember Y2K, all these, when you start, understanding something ain't right, you start falling in, hearing them talk about all these, oh, it's going down, right? And you know, given what information we have of previous incidents that have happened throughout history, it happened still to this day, whether it's a hurricane or a tsunami or whatever, prepping, the whole idea of prepping is being prepared for anything that comes, right? And you just see a lot of this shit out here that's just so stupid, man. What's the point in having an underground bunker, that can sustain you and whoever you plan on going down there for, 2 or 3 years, if the entrance is at ground level? I hope it don't flood, right? Dummies. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if I had money, that would be definitely one of the options I would have in my arsenal, is an underground bunker. But the entrance to it would be, at least 50 feet above sea level minimum and hidden, you know. Even you guys out there, that if you have already incorporated that into your plan, that, it could flood, and you build a entry level, whatever, concrete, a concrete pillar with a ladder going down it, even if you built it 100 feet tall, I mean, that's just sticking right out, what's the point, But I'm gonna, we're gonna break the whole prepping thing down, we're gonna break it down, because that's what you got to do. You gotta incorporate every possibility, And Mr. Murphy, what can go wrong will go wrong, So you got to incorporate all of that, man, and that's why some of the prepping, information that I see out here and have seen, don't get me wrong, I used to, it's something that's been commercialized, so it's not even about, a lot of the times, sound advice. It's about selling people things, and don't get me wrong, I got no problem with that. Like I said, this is America. As long as two people agree on the purchase, the seller and the buyer, there's nothing wrong with what anybody's doing, and a lot of that shit you're going to want to have in a bad situation. But it's, you got to break down the whole thing. There's going to be a time when I'm telling you, you're not going to want to have it. And that's ground zero for whatever they could have, whatever could happen. It could be we could really have, a natural disaster or something that appears to be a natural disaster, or there it could be endless things when you sit down and think about it. So you want to be prepared for everything. EMP. That's a realistic thing. I mean, and who knows what they have with their EMP technology. I mean, they could have it to where it just searches out certain frequencies or certain signals, cell phones. I mean, that would cripple the country. That would cause a bad situation, that alone, if they designed an EMP that just took out cell phones, So you want to build one of them Faraday boxes, that will protect, from whatever EMP, keep at least a few different types of electronics in there. One of the electronics you're going to want to keep in there is a scanner, man. I'm telling you, a handheld scanner is going to go a long way for you. It's going to be one of the most important tools that you can have when things go bad. Because let me tell you, I learned a long time ago from this drug dealer, man. He sold these little, $10 baggies of weed, man. And where he lived, he lived one block off the main road on the corner. So he could see the main traffic, going down the street, the main road that went through the neighborhoods that connected, the main fairways. He could see the traffic from where he was at, on the street corner he was at, because he was right on the corner. And I was sitting over there one day, and a car pulled down the street, and it was going down the street, and we were sitting on the front porch, and he said, that's a cop right there. He's like, that's the narcotics and gang unit. And I was like, dude, how do you know that? And he said, come here, man. He took me inside. He had police scanner. Any type of organization like that, law enforcement, military or whatever, there's lots of radio talk. That's their main. Without that communication, they don't function, period. So you need a scanner. And because if you're on foot, you're going to want to know, at least be gathering as much information you can, So definitely get one of them. Now, I don't know what types of handheld scanners, whether they pick, I wouldn't imagine the military band and the police band's the same thing, because I don't think in a bad situation, they don't operate together. I heard on a radio show one time, and I don't know if this guy was take it or leave it for what it is. I don't know the guy if he was a real, soldier or not, but he said during Hurricane Katrina, when they were deployed to Hurricane Katrina, he's like, their orders were you treat police like the civilians. And he said that, and that's who was committing most of the crimes during Hurricane Katrina. He said it was the police. He said they were raping people, they were doing everything, killing people. So he said, yeah, their orders are to treat the police the same as the civilians. So I don't think they would use the same band. Now, I knew a guy that used to modify and build CB radios for truck drivers. I'm sure that there's radio equipment that you could get a military band, because I mean he built CBs that would, you'd be in Detroit and you could pick up people in Mexico on CBs, That's very important. Not for you to communicate with nobody, for you to listen in and gather information. The other thing, the third most important thing for you is going to be when we're talking the initial whatever happens that puts you in a situation that puts the whole country in a situation where it's just not good for nobody. And that's going to be camouflage. Camouflage, I'm sorry, guys, that you're pushing these bug out bags, man. I'll tell you, that's my personal opinion. You're handing them a death wish in a bag. That's all you're handing them. The people in this country, they're already brutal and violent with each other. Now take away their communications, take away their food, take away their water, take away their safety. Now look what you're dealing with, and you're dealing with masses. You don't want to be that guy that's got something that they possibly want. That you're putting a bullseye on their back with that backpack, man. You know, everything that you need when shit goes down, man, you need to be able to fit under a coat. You got to look like you're just in a bad situation as everybody else if you come across people, because that's what you want to do, is you don't stay away from people. You know, you guys got to think about this all realistically, man. And this is serious shit, man. You're not going fucking camping and hiking, man. You know, stay hidden during the day if you can, and maneuver at nighttime if you can. You know, use areas or routes that the majority ain't going to be using. You know, riverways if you can. You know, railroad tracks, man. You know, you got Google Earth. You know, if you already haven't mapped out the best way for you to maneuver and get out of the area, and think about this, man. Don't stray too far away from your family, because you never know how it's going to happen or how it could go down. And that's the reality of it, that when shit goes down, you're probably, wherever you're at, you're going to have to get on foot part of the way or all the way to get back to your family. And, you know, and that's it. Get back to your family, the most important people to you. You know, this ain't a time to go, you know, gather up Aunt George, Aunt Betty, and everybody else. It's not that. This is not that time, man. Not if you want to make it through. That's the reality of it, you know. And you got to think of all the obstacles, checkpoints. You know what I'm saying? Checkpoints you're going to have to try to overcome. You're going to have to overcome whatever, you know, whatever the situation could be with just crazy people, mindless zombies running around like chickens with their heads cut off. You know, that's a possibility. Who knows how it could happen, you know. You know, start thinking about this stuff, guys. Start thinking about it in a realistic manner. I'm telling you, everything that you need, you have to be able to fit underneath the coat, man. You know, we're going to break it down all the way. If you're serious about making it through, man. And if you know, like I said, dude, back in the day when I started just looking at people like just like they were, you know, man, I'm telling you, I got dangerous, man. I was looking in, they were no different than the meat on the shelf at the grocery store to me, you know. And believe me, that's that way that there's a lot of people out here, they're thinking like that, and even more dangerous than that, you know. Like I said, they're at these protests they want to kill each other over who their next fake president's going to be. And will die for that shit. So, you know, your prepping plans really got to be a realistic plan if you're going to make it through. You know, like I said, back in the day, I would have... Please, somebody with a backpack full of shit come my way. Please. I need it. Bad. Think about this stuff, guys. You know, like I said, and it's not nothing against nobody personally. I'm just, you know, we got to start thinking these things in realistic terms. And what we will really be dealing with out here. And I'll tell you, you know, checkpoint, that stuff's easy to overcome, you know. Whatever, you know, make sure you know, I'll talk more about how I would do it, you know. You know, you're going to want to think on, you know, especially if it's not just you, you know, you're going to, you know, and if you got, you know, children and, you know, a wife and stuff like that, you know, you need to start using learning some small unit tactics, you know, how to maneuver without talking, you know, things like this, you know, these are the important things, you know, getting out of ground zero, you know, that's the most important thing right there, you know. Survival begins after that, you know. You might not even be able to make it out of ground zero. That's the reality of the situation. You might be caught up by some type of authority. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying this shit's all important, man. Survival and prepping don't even start unless you can make it out of ground zero. So that's the most important thing. Bugging out, man. No backpack, man. No backpack. Everything fits under a coat. Everything you need. What do you need? You don't need a tent. You know, you need food and water. That's all you need. If you map out a good enough plan for your route of escape, you can look at possible, buildings you could hold up in, possible, underpasses or bridges you can get under, and hold out during the day and hide, Come on, man. Think about this, guys, man. Don't think stupid about this shit, man. Think about this. Break it down like you break down everything else when you're breaking down these lies, man. That's how you got to break down your prepping plan. Every possibility, the best. This is the time where mistakes ain't, you can't afford to be wrong in these times, man. These are those times. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter what everybody else in the world is doing as long as you know what you're doing and have that down and have it perfected. Don't get yourself, get off this fucked up diet we're all on. And I'm being a hypocrite right now. I struggle too, man. Even in the health situation I'm in, and even the testimonies I've seen where diabetics, going 2 weeks on a raw food diet or diabetes free, people that the doctor said you got 6 months to live, cancer's going to take you out, went on an all juice diet, started fasting and shit, and going on a fresh all fruit and all vegetable diet. In 90 days they're cancer free. That's how fucked up they got our brain, man, where we're still, even though we know the truth, we're still following their plan. Like I said, once a day, raw food diet, man. Twice a day you can eat, eat some fruits in the morning or whatever. Or, whatever, have a bowl of oatmeal with some fruit in it, Lunch, have, make yourself a salad of fresh vegetables. Drink your herbal tea, man. Nothing, that's one of the other best things for your prepping, man. Because don't have to go from eating this fucking American diet to not being able to eat however you want overnight. Prepare yourself for this stuff, guys. If you want to make it through, this is the stuff it's going to take. Discipline, man, is what's going to get you through. Discipline. And if you guys got these giant fucking yards, man, I don't, I'm just renting a little basement apartment from this lady, man. I don't have a say what I can do in the yard, but if I had a big yard, you better tell me I'd be, growing the produce and having a roadside stand selling that shit. Because there's lots of people that don't want that shit at the grocery store, man. I just bought some cantaloupes at the grocery store. And you know what, it's like they go from almost ripe to rotten. There's no in between where the meat is soft anymore, It stays hard, until it rots. You get a cantaloupe from a roadside stand, not only it is it twice the size, 3 times the size of these grocery store cantaloupes. Man, when you bite into it, you plan on changing your shirt when you're done. That's how juicy and soft and it's 2 different things, man. So yeah, if you got a giant yard, man, that's a great way to make money, man. People are doing it. Go on YouTube. People are doing it, man. They're making, 30, 40 grand off of their yard, with their little roadside stands. Shit, not even roadside stands. Let me tell you, I read in Mother Earth News one time, there's a family up here in Michigan, it was a big family, husband, wife, and they had like 4 children, and they went out every year and picked them fresh mushrooms, those wild mushrooms, set up a roadside stand, made 30, 40 grand easy. That shit goes for $30, $40 a pound. But yeah, guys, let's start getting serious about your prepping plan, because let me tell you, you're not going hiking, you're not going camping. This is serious shit we're dealing with. This is life and death shit, man. I don't understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, man. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just not seeing it like you guys are seeing it, man. Really. And I hate to say stuff about what other people are doing, because I don't think that they're doing, I don't think that they have bad intentions at all. You know what I'm saying? They generally think that they're helping somebody out. But let me tell you, you're not helping nobody out, man. You're causing them to be in a bad situation that they don't even know they're getting themselves into. All right, God bless you all. Have a great day.